inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25.
Here we go, set. Blue striker.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
You always worry about those small receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Now left side on the swing pass.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw here.
Over the middle, complete to Judy.
Touchdown, Broncos!
Jerry Judy.
His 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Broncos are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that makes the score 7-0.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Wilson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. The Ravens at 500, 3-3 through the season's first 6 weeks. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. That ain't going to be tough to beat in this one.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And as a quarterback, you always awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory. Down at the 33. Throwing is Wilson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Multiple players combined.
Despite him being sacked 4 times, they might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up the 1st and goal.
I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Here's the sneak with Wilson, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown.
The sneak successful from a yard out.
Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
Taken at about the 1. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that he spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1.
Got a man. It's Judy, complete.
And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter.
Ready up.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47.
Set.
He'll look to throw.
They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. And the Ravens will take over possession here up at the 44. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd and 12, Wilson.
That is caught by Lamb.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain there of 21 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Wilson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. From midfield now, here's Wilson.
That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. And, folks, this is a 67-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good.
Unbelievable. Justin Tucker has done it again. He ties his own NFL record with another 66-yard field goal.
Another incredible kick by Justin Tucker. And let's face it, he doesn't surprise us anymore, does he? I still remember seeing the replays of the first one in 2021 at Detroit, bouncing off the crossbar and going through. This guy is flat out amazing.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Set, ready.
And he's going to have a Broncos first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
Partner, I know we're in the era of the mobile quarterback, but there's still an element of surprise when that position keeps the football, and what a nice gain on that play.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
It's David Ajabo there for the tackle. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
The offense on 3rd down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Ready, set.
And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on 3rd. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams.
And he is not going anywhere. He will not even get back to the line of scrimmage as the clock will stop at the 2-minute warning.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt.
And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Here's Wilson. And he will find his man on the outside. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw caught by Kohler.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And he's got his big wide receiver complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 27 yards there, a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain.
And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. But let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Another run here with Dobbins. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too. There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Again, Wilson will keep it.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper and 2nd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter.
Here we go.
3rd and 2, now Wilson.
And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the 3rd quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And it finally kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
They go play action with Wilson. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Baron Browning in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And the slot man goes in motion left. 2nd and 6. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
A throw left side, hauled in by Hamler. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a 1st down, a nice, consistent gain.
Okay, right.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. He's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score.
Javonte Williams, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year,
as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that makes it a 21-10 game.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Complete to Tim Patrick. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 44-yard line.
On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
Denver has the 1st down, the play going for 15 yards. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
And cycle.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. On play action, they'll throw. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. 1st target, 1st catch, and a 1st down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Ultra. Go ultra.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
Throw right side, going to be complete to DeGuara.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score.
Josiah DeGuara,
His first touchdown on the year.
and the Broncos are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. The extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the lead is up to 18 now.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Here we go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Pat Surtain, and the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point. His first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he'll just get rid of it.
How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
A chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Double 38.
They're going to look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain an 18-point lead.
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And incomplete. A drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
Got his target. That's Kohler. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. A three-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Left side to Lamb. And they move this all the way down to the 9. He got 29 yards that time. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll go with the keeper. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. It's their quarterback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Ravens have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. And the Broncos are going to get the football. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left. And then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
See, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction.
He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, 52 yards. And the Ravens have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. And what a throw that was, Charles. You think about the situation, close game, 4th quarter, rookie quarterback. He doesn't seem phased one bit.
So much for bright lights, big city, and will he wilt? Not at all. The stage not too big, the moment not too big at all. They needed points on that series, and not only did he produce a touchdown drive, but how about finishing it off with a big play that only adds to the momentum that they've already established.
And the Broncos are going to get the football. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Check right. Set.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
The win for the Broncos, seemingly assured. They go down to a knee.
Okay, ready?
Second and 11. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Down.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Denver, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills.